There's nothing like waking up in the morning and saying, I love myself. You're going to get first-class service. Come on, come on. And you're going to hear some things today that you haven't ever heard before on how to build your business. Grow your business and grow yourself, and you can do it with who? With me, Dr. Hank. A little bit more about me. I was in a car accident 15 years ago, and I broke my neck. And I was going down the valley of death. It was white snow, black trees. There was no green on the trees. And I was asked, do I want to stay or do I want to go? And I decided I wanted to stay because I really understood how life plays, if you will, not works. Don't ever use that word work. Nobody likes to work. We want to play, right? So I discovered how life plays, and I wanted to be able to share that with everyone. So I broke when I awoke out of my coma, that I had a broken neck, and they said I needed a rod in my neck and I'd be in chronic pain for the rest of my life. But I decided not to honor anybody's opinion other than God's opinion, and the opinion of that with God all things are possible, and I chose that higher power in order to live with that higher power. And I have no rod in my neck, which I wouldn't have been able to turn the head left or right, and I created this magnificent life of mine to where now I just published a book, in fact, together that Tanya and I published a book, and it's called The Happiest Man in the World. And who do you think that is? That's me. 21 years, I've helped thousands of clients, people, in order to, whether it's entrepreneurs, large companies, small businesses, to grow their business, and I guarantee it. In fact, I guarantee that you'll get over 300% return on investment, or your investment is returned in full. Pretty good deal, huh? So are you ready for this? Open mind, open heart, and here we go. This is the 3 steps to increasing your business for your business growth. So a little about the first step, cash to grow your business. So here is a solution for you to have cash to grow your business. If you're unable to get more cash from a bank right now, how many of you are unable to get cash from a bank? If you want more cash flow to grow your business, then we'll purchase your receivables. The second one is how to attract and retain talent. That most businesses use 2 unreliable resources to hire their people. One, the resume. Now, I have never read a resume that said, I got fired in 2007, right? So the resume doesn't quite tell the whole truth. And the second thing is the interview. And I've never, for a sales position, I've never not asked someone, do you like cold selling? And they say, yes, they do. No one's ever said no to that question. And so they're 2 unreliable sources. So really, when you hire somebody, you don't know what you're getting. And so this will help you to know what you're getting. A real challenge with many people that are in the ages 18 to 30, and they feel that they just want to, they should be promoted and they should get a lot of different things. And because of that, it's a real challenge for businesses that are looking at that. And so you want to make sure that how do you tap into and find the most talented people, especially in that age group, if you're looking for that age group. I was president of Janny King. Do you know Janny King? They're the largest company in the world for commercial cleaning. And I was president for about a year with them as they wanted me to clean up some things. And the owner came to me and said, okay, we need to get into this one market, Maryland, and we need to hire this guy, the best guy in that market. And so go do your magic. So I went, and we had 300 respondents. Out of those 300, based on the resume, we had 50 people, and we assessed the 50 people, and I was able to identify the best person out of those 50 people. In fact, I identified the best 6 people, and we flew into Maryland. We interviewed the 6 people, but before we flew there, I wrote this person who we would hire. I've never met the person, okay? I wrote his name down, put it in a sealed envelope, and gave it to this owner. And I said, here is who you'll end up hiring. And he goes, come on, you can't tell me that. We're going to have, we got 12 people to interview. So we interview the people. We're done with the first and second round and third round of interviews. And by the time we're done, that he selects as one person and he opens up his envelope, it's that person. So that's how incredible these assessment tools are in order to find the right person, the best person for every job and any job that you have. And so imagine if you could use an analytical means in order to start hiring people in a way that is foolproof, that you'll be able to really discover if you're hiring a talented person, a motivated person, and then a person that has the behaviors that match that job. We don't have to work hard at all. We just need to focus on what we want. And most of us think, though, about what we don't want, and thus we get the things we don't want. Like, for example, if you thought there was going to be, I hope I'm not in a lot of traffic today, you probably were in a lot of traffic today. Why? Because you created it. Our thought and how we are creators of our own experience, and we can have whatever we want. So all creation starts with our thoughts. Thoughts become things. Do you believe that? Yeah, they do. And you have to take responsibility that everything in your life you created, to include like maybe your ex. What is the one thing keeping you from having whatever you want? Yeah, my thoughts. It's my thoughts. We have beliefs that are gatekeepers that have put us in this little place with a fence around it, and we feel like we have chains around us. And now is the time for all of us to let go of those chains. We don't need to have those chains because they're only in our mind. And so we can become anything and be, do, and have it all. And as you believe that, and the more that you're around me, the more you're going to believe that and know just what a magnificent creator that you each are. Have you ever had a day where you said, it just can't get any worse than this? How many of you had that day, huh? It just can't get any worse. Now, how many of you then experience it got worse? And that's called the power and the law of attraction. And it's where whatever I think about, so if I say, I don't want traffic, you're going to get traffic because the universe, you're thinking about that traffic and how you're stalled there and you're late for things and everything. So it's creating that through your emotion, and then you start attracting other things that don't play out very well. So the bad traffic, and then you're late, and then you get into a car accident, and the list could be long. And so what you want to do is you want to start thinking more about the things that make you feel good, the things that you want. Let's say you wake up Saturday morning and you get a cup of coffee, you read the paper, and things are going good, that you start watching the TV, but you had planned when you woke up on Saturday morning to clean out the garage or clean out your closet. Well, that closet never got cleaned out, and you do a bunch of busy work, and by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you're starting to get stressed out, thinking, God darn, I should be doing this closet, cleaning this closet out. And so we end up not doing the intentional and deliberate things that we want that will help us to have all of our dreams come true. Bottom line, decreases our success and increases our stress. So can you relate to living in that zone once in a while? Doing a little busy work? Yeah. And each of us, in our own mind, have these little committee, and imagine that you're sitting at this beautiful mahogany table with these big executive chairs all around the table. Players in your mind are fear, false evidence appearing real. Fear, false, 93% of the things we fear don't even happen to us, okay? So that's what fear is false evidence appearing real. Fear, worry, doubt, complaining, blaming, shame, guilt. All of those things are just committee members. That's not the truth about you. You're made in the image and likeness of God. That none of those are true about you. There's nothing to be shameful about, guilty about, but we've been taught, we have beliefs, whatever, and we keep on looking at the past. And what I do teach people is how to live in the green zone. And this is where you're being a deliberate creator. You have these good feeling thoughts. You're thinking about things that you want. That it is where you are the inviter of what you want to have happen. Of what you discovered, this asking, this process of asking and then receiving and asking of what you want. And if something happens in your life where it isn't good, so let's say your right knee is hurting you, okay? Don't think about your right knee. Think about your good left knee. And what will happen is literally that good positive energy will run from the left knee to the right knee, and pretty soon your right knee will be fine. I have a great story about my father-in-law that my wife Sharon, the first time I'm going to meet my father-in-law, Sharon says to me, and we're driving there, and she says, listen, my dad hasn't liked any of my boyfriends. My dad hasn't liked any of my husbands. And so this is not going to be a pleasant time. And while she's telling me this, I'm thinking, that's what I don't want. So what do I want? So I start thinking about, I want, and his name, by the way, is Sledge, like a sledgehammer. You know, already I'm a little scared. And so I started thinking about how Sledge would be kind and harmonious and uplifting and call me. She said, he'll never call you by your first name either. Hey, you know, it's the best he'll get. He won't shake your hand, won't look at you. She told me all these things, and I kept on saying, that's what I don't want, that's what I don't want. What do I want? And so it birthed these great ideas about, I want him to be my best friend. And so I go in and I meet Sledge for the first time, and he's kind of, his head's down, and he kind of gives me a handshake, and that's it. And as we're going through this, I'm looking, as he's talking to Sharon, that I'm looking at him and I'm saying to him, but just in my mind, I'm saying, I love you. And if he would have known that, he would have got a gun out and shot me, okay? And so, I love you. And then eventually, within minutes, that Sledge started saying, hey, let me come and let me show you my office. And he starts being real nice. Pretty soon he's got his arm around me and he'd say, hey, and he's calling me Hank. And it's like, oh my God, this is just amazing. So we have the power. See, we've been told we can't change anybody. The fact is, you have the power to change anybody based on how you think about them. So can you think of a person, like maybe a relative that you really don't like? Think differently about that person. At the next family reunion, you'll be amazed on how that person is different. Do all of you want to live in that green zone? Okay, let's hear it. Let's hear it. Yes, yes, we want to hear that.